the Right Honourable Winston Peters. Order. The Right Honourable Winston Peters, question number 11.
Boo. This question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by all his statements regarding the Northland by-election?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes, in the context they were given.
Supplementary
question. Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Is Tracy Watkins, Dominion Post comment, quotes, at a kiwifruit picking plant in Kerikeri, Key admitted the campaign team decided against rolling out further spending promises after the initial reaction to its announcement on one-way bridges, end of quotes. Is that comment correct?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, yes.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
If, as he said, the government would unveil these promises after the by-election, will he now categorise precisely what these promises are, now that the by-election, thank heavens, is over?
Right Honourable
Mr Speaker, the member should know Northland well enough to know what the priorities that the government is going to announce are.
Point of order, the Right Honourable Winston.
The question didn't concern priorities, it concerned the promises.
Order.
Entirely different word.
My difficulty, and I'm going to give the member a chance to rephrase his question, is there was quite a lot of lead up to the question. If I can have a simple question, then I'll try and assist the member to get an answer.
Good luck on that. As Tracy Watkins referred to spending promises...
Order, can I just have the supplementary question?
Yeah, you'll get it. Don't worry.
Well, order. The member will resume his seat. Order. I'm trying to assist the member to get an answer. Now, to assist me to help the member get an answer, I need a short, sharp... I'm still speaking. Supplementary question that's in line with standing orders. Supplementary question, Right Honourable Winston.
For your benefit, Mr Speaker, if, as he said, the government would unveil these promises after the by-election, will he now categorise precisely what these promises are, now that the by-election is, thank heavens, over?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, in the fullness of time, the government will have more announcements to make in Northland.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Supplementary question. Did the government put into these promises the same amount of policy planning, analysis and costing behind these further intended promises as they put into... Oh, I wouldn't have thought you were speaking here.
Order, just carry on with the question.
As they put into the 10 one-lane bridges and faster broadband for Northland rollout announcements.
Well, Mr Speaker, the announcements made during the course of the campaign and in earlier times actually for the benefit of the people of Northland. I'm surprised that the member, now that he's won the right to represent them, doesn't actually want to be advocating for more two-lane bridges, doesn't want to advocate for more ultra-fast broadband. Now,
Order.
sit down.
Order. Point of order, the Right Honourable.
Sit down. That's a good lad. Sit down. Point of order.
Point of order, the Right Honourable.
Mr Speaker.
Order.
I am asking precisely...
Order. If the member's going to raise a point of order, arguing now that the question has not been addressed, then I am saying it has been. Again, I advise the member, if he wants to make progress, the member, please resume his seat. The member, order, I'm on my feet. The member wants to make progress, he's better to tighten his supplementary question.
Point of order, Speaker.
Order. I have a point of order from the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I hadn't finished my answer. I'd like to take the opportunity to finish it. That wasn't a point of order. And he interrupted me.
Have I got a new point of order from the...
Mr Speaker, my question was precisely...
Order. I've dealt with that. If it's a fresh point of order, I'll hear it. But if the member's going to trifle with the chair... Order! Member will resume his seat. Order! I have a very good mind to be asking the member to be leaving the chamber now. Now, when I stand to my feet, the member resumes his seat. I have addressed the question as to whether that answer addressed the question. That is the end of that matter. I invite the member, if he's got a fresh point of order, to raise it. But if he's simply going to relitigate a ruling I've made, that will lead to disorder. Right Honourable.
Question, Mr Speaker. When an answer comes back that the member for Northland does not support the policy promises, how can that possibly be the answer?
It wasn't. I'll hear from the
Speaker,
right
I
honourable
did
Prime
not
Minister.
say that. I said if the member does not support these priorities and was going through the list of things that actually is required in Northland, that the member I would have thought wanted to advocate for. I'm more than happy to talk about the government's agenda in Northland.
Order.
It's fulsome.
Now, this is no longer a point of it. Does the member have further supplementary questions?
Yes, surprisingly I do.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Did the government put in the same amount of policy planning, analysis and costing behind the further intended promises that they put into the government-financed cell tower installation and the Puhoi to Wellsford superhighway promise?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, if one looks at, firstly with Puhoi to Wellsford, it was already well and truly announced. But Mr Speaker, again, I'm surprised that the member, given he has taken a month off to be in Northland, doesn't actually recognise how important that arterial route is. If the member is serious about being the member for Northland, then the member will have to get to a point where he actually understands what he's going to need to work on. He clearly doesn't understand that.
Any question?
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Supplementary question to the Prime Minister. How will the people of Northland, in his words, quotes, go faster, inner quotes, and be better served with respect to either business or tourism when Air New Zealand closes next month the Auckland to Kaitaia service, as well as the direct Whangarei to Wellington service?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, in the case of Kaitaia, obviously it's disappointing, but what they are doing is actually replacing that service with 50-seat aircraft that will fly into Kerikeri far more regularly. The member probably knows the number of flights that Air New Zealand has from Auckland to Kerikeri every day, and if he doesn't, I'm more than happy to give him a briefing on that.
Supplementary question.
Supplementary question.
The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
What with precision are the costings for A, the 10 bridges, B, the Warkworth to Wellsford superhighway extension, 3, the faster broadband rollout in Northland, and 4, the taxpayer-funded cell tower installations in Northland?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Sorry, I didn't hear the first part of the question.
I'll invite the member to ask the question again.
What with precision are the costings for the A, 10 bridges, B, the Warkworth to Wellsford superhighway extension, C, the faster broadband rollout in Northland, and 4, the taxpayer-funded cell tower installations in Northland?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, well, firstly, some of those tenders aren't in, but it does sound like a busy list of things here from the government. But, Mr Speaker, I'm sure it's cheaper than what it costs to stay at the Eagle's Nest.
Any questions?
Supplementary question.
jealous, are we?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister. The Right Honourable Winston Peters.
Supplementary question. Will he, as Prime Minister, support me as the member for Northland to address responses to one of the most serious and most abhorrent issues facing Northland, that of sexual violence?
Mr Speaker,
The Right Honourable
Mr Speaker,
Prime
actually,
Minister.
the member makes an excellent point, that he wants to work constructively on issues that will support Northland. If that's what the member is saying to me today, well, I can say as Prime Minister, more than happy to work with him on those. I look forward to him supporting the Ngāpuhi settlement and the legislation that will go through there. I look forward to the member working constructively in areas like RMA reform, Mr Speaker, so we can see more investment going into Auckland. Mr Speaker, I look forward to the member's party voting for the Korea-New Zealand FTA.
Order. No, the answer's now getting too long.